So today, we're going to dive into one of the toughest, but also one of the most important journeys a couple can ever take, healing after someone's been hurt. It's a path that really forces you to choose to listen, to accept, and to forgive. So let's break down how that actually works.
This quote, it just perfectly sets the stage, doesn't it? It's this powerful reminder that real love, it's not some fairy tale. It's a commitment. It's not about trying to avoid pain altogether, but about making that choice to stay and face it together. So, where does a journey like this even begin? Well, it almost always starts in a place we've all been, I think. That moment when love hurts. And really understanding that pain, that's the very first step to healing from it.
And that is just the honest truth. It doesn't matter if it's from some huge betrayal or just a bunch of small cuts over time. These mistakes leave real marks. The healing process can't even get started until we stop pretending those scars aren't there and just admit that the hurt is real and valid.
This is the big question, isn't it? When you're sitting right in the middle of that pain and you're just surrounded by all the hurt, it can feel totally impossible to see a way forward. But there is a starting point on the path to healing. And that starting point, it's a choice. It's not a feeling that just washes over you. No, it's a very deliberate decision to listen instead of just reacting. And believe me, that one single choice, it changes everything. This right here, this is the critical shift. Our first instinct so often is to get defensive, to point fingers, to figure out who's to blame. But all that does is keep us trapped in this painful cycle. Healing only, and I mean only, begins when we put down our defenses and really choose to listen.
And what's so powerful about this is just how clearly it lays out the two different paths you can take. You've got the blame cycle on one side, defend, accuse, and just repeat. Over and over, you're stuck. But then you look at the other path, the listening path. That's about trying to understand, validating feelings, and ultimately building a connection right where there used to be conflict.
Okay, so once you've made that all-important choice to listen, the next big step on this journey is acceptance. But what does acceptance actually look like when you've been really hurt?
This is so key. Acceptance is not about saying what happened was okay. Not at all. It's about being able to say, I see the pain that's between us, but I still see you. It separates the action from the person, and that is absolutely essential if you're ever going to move forward.
And this brings us to what is maybe the most misunderstood part of healing, forgiveness. We tend to think of it as some kind of gift we give to the other person, but honestly, it's really a gift you give yourself and the future of your relationship.
I love this definition because it shows you that true forgiveness is all about looking forward. It's a promise, really. A promise that you're not going to let yesterday's mistakes poison every single tomorrow. It's about choosing to write a new chapter together instead of just reading the last one over and over again. This distinction is just perfect. Forgiveness never asks you to get amnesia and forget what happened. Instead, it asks you to let go of the fear that's attached to that memory. That way, you can open your heart again, not blindly, but with a new, kind of gentler wisdom. So, let's just do a quick recap. These are the 3 big steps. Step 1, choose to listen instead of blame. Step 2, accept the pain without letting it totally define your partner. And step 3, choose forgiveness to free your future. Simple, but not easy. So what happens after you've taken these steps?
All right, this brings us to the final, and I think the most hopeful part of this whole thing. After all the listening, the acceptance, the forgiveness, what's next? How do you actually find your way back to one another?
First things first, a little dose of reality. This is not a quick fix. There's no magic wand here. Rebuilding trust, rebuilding that intimacy, it's a slow, deliberate process. It's going to take patience and compassion, not just for your partner, but for yourself too. And right here, this is the secret sauce for that rebuilding. It happens when both people decide that the health of the relationship is way more important than their own pride, or their need to be right, or their fear of being vulnerable again. And this is the beautiful result. It's not like the scars just magically disappear, but it's like new, stronger tissue can grow around them. When understanding becomes the main goal, love doesn't just come back, it often comes back deeper and way more resilient than it was before. And at the end of the day, that's really the takeaway. The journey through hurt isn't just about trying to survive it, it's about transformation.
It's through acceptance and forgiveness that a relationship doesn't just heal, it actually grows into something stronger. So the real question is, what does that kind of growth look like for you?